Brussels.
With me is Professor of Economics at Royal Holloway University, Manolis Galenianos. Manolis, do you feel encouraged about what's been happening today?
Yes, I think there were encouraging signs at today's Eurogroup. So, in their statement, the Eurogroup finance ministers said that there had been progress, and they attributed this progress to the change in the negotiating team from the side of Greece. And not to put it too finely, I think that refers to the sidelining of Finance Minister Varoufakis.
Has he been pushed out of negotiations altogether?
Probably not altogether, but Euclid Tsakalotos now plays a major role in the negotiations, and he is in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and also Yannis Dragasakis, who is the Deputy Prime Minister, is also playing a much bigger role than he used to.
Okay, so where do we go from here? Because we've got other bills having to be paid in the next few weeks. Where's the deadline now? We keep on setting these deadlines, but there's another one really being set now, isn't there?
Right, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly how much cash the Greek government has at its disposal right at this moment. For sure, the big deadline is at the end of June, because in July and August, the Greek government is going to have to repay about 6.5 billion euros to the ECB, to the European Central Bank. If it does not repay that money, then the European Central Bank will not be able to continue funding the Greek private commercial banks. And that's going to lead to a bank run, that's going to lead to controls on deposits, and possibly the exit of Greece from the euro.
But at the moment it's only asking for 7 billion, isn't it? Which would pay the money back, which from so right. The money would go in a big circle. But what about all the other bills it has to pay?
Greece had managed to reach what's called the primary surplus. So if you ignore interest payments, the budget was balanced, or in a small surplus, which means that the Greek government can actually pay for most of its day-to-day expenses. I mean, it's become a bit harder now because the economy has been doing worse in the last few months, but it is possible. What the Greek government cannot do is roll over all these large amounts, this debt, like the one to the ECB, and for that it needs help.
If they do come to some kind of agreement over the next couple of weeks, that's what Mr. Varoufakis was saying or suggesting, it's a referendum then, isn't it? Because they're not going to just be able to, because they're going to have to give away so much. They can't just say yes without going back to the people, can they?
That's anybody's guess. I'm not quite sure what they will try to do. It's not clear whether all this talk about referendum is for internal consumption or whether this is actually something they intend to do.
What about the actual economy itself? If there is an agreement and things start to move forward, what kind of lift will that give to the economy? Or will it not? Will it not really have any tangible effect on the economy itself, do you think?
No, I think it will have a very positive effect on the economy if there is an agreement and if there is a way forward. One of the things that I think it's important to realize is that at the time of the elections, Greece seemed to have turned the corner. So the budget numbers were going well. Greece had recovered the competitiveness it was missing before. And the economy had started growing slowly, but still it had started growing. And all through 2014, actually, the unemployment rate went down. Now, all that has stalled since the election because of all this extra uncertainty. I think if that uncertainty goes away, this progress is gonna recur again.
And the crucial thing would be inward investment, wouldn't it, coming in from abroad? And is there money waiting in the wings for Greece, do you think, or is that really being too optimistic?
Yes, that's hard to tell. So a lot of the ministers of Syriza have made a lot of statements since they came to power. Not all of these statements are consistent with each other. A lot of these statements can be read as a very anti-business. So that would seem to discourage foreign investment. But it's not clear how things will turn out. So if there is a deal, it's possible that they might change the tune on that one as well.
Manolis Galenianos, thanks very much indeed for that.
Thanks for having me.